Hello and welcome to today's episode of the Cardinals Pulse. My name is Riley Hemmer alongside a very special guest. We have Louisville men's basketball head coach, Pat Kelsey. Thank you for being here today, Coach.
Hi, Riley. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Of course. As you know, Louisville is a basketball city. When it comes to the diehard fans, the students, the school, they're looking forward to the future, and they want to know a little bit more about yourself, this new team, and of course what this basketball city has in store for us this year. So that gets me into your first question. In your opening press conference, you told Josh Hurd that you would run here. What was it about this city that made you want to do that?
Well, Louisville basketball is one of the most storied, tradition-rich programs in the history of college basketball. I'm from 90 miles up the road in Cincinnati, but I might as well have been from the moon. Growing up, in the 80s, to see a national championship in 1980, national championship in 1986. Obviously, a national championship again in 2013. This brand, this logo, this basketball program is second to none. So as a basketball coach, as somebody that's made this my life's work and my vocation, to be offered the job at the University of Louisville, I ran here.
Mm-hmm. And that passion and that drive that you have, where does that come from and how do you maintain it?
Well, I have a lot of passion. I have a lot of energy. There's been a lot of talk about kind of the energy I have. I don't have to try to do that. It's just one of my natural gifts. The Lord blessed me in a big way with a lot of energy. I got the short end of the stick, as I've said before, in looks and intelligence and sense of humor, all that stuff. But I got a lot of energy, and and that's, I think, if you walk in our gym at practice, or if you walk down the halls of our basketball office, you can kind of feel that. That's a big part of our culture, and a big part about how we go about our business.
Absolutely. And we've seen that energy on social media and in practice. You throw shoes if they're slipped off of one of your players' feet. What's the story behind that?
Man, it's so weird. I don't know. That just always used to drive me nuts when guys wouldn't tie their shoes tight enough and they cut real hard and their shoes would come off. And I'd say, tie your shoes. How do you play basketball without, with that? So I don't know. And then it started to become this running joke that if it slipped off their feet and I could get to it first, we'd throw it up into the stand somewhere. And there was one time about a year or two ago in my career, and it's on social media somewhere, where I was actually in practice. I actually cut hard. My shoe came off, and it was like a carnival in practice. They got it. They threw it out into the street. That was pretty funny.
That's
so
awesome.
I've learned my lesson as well.
Absolutely.
So I tie it up a little tighter now.
Mm-hmm. With the schedule just being released, do you have any dates that you have circled on your schedule that you're looking forward to?
Well, the schedule coming out, I think everybody can see it's one of the one of the toughest schedules in America. We got to be ready night in and night out against great programs, great players, great coaches. But I'm just not that type of coach that's going to circle a certain game and that they're all big.
Absolutely.
So we're just focusing on having great practices here in the preseason and being ready for when that ball goes up for real against our first opponent.
Yeah. What excites you most about this season then and this team?
Well, I love, in terms of our team, I love the makeup in terms of the veteran nature of our team, the leadership. We have a lot of older guys that have been very successful, that are winners in college basketball. I noticed it very quickly this summer when we came together for the first time. When you start talking concepts, and you start teaching, and you start implementing, the guys pick things up very quick, and that's what a veteran team is all about. So many times when a coach takes the practice floor, he, day in and day out, has to set the tone for whether it's the seriousness of purpose, whether it's the attention to detail, the attention to excellence. But we got a bunch of guys that have logged a ton of minutes in college basketball, won a lot of games. We got a bunch of guys that played in the NCAA tournament last year somewhere. So from that standpoint, I'm really, really excited about our team.
Yeah, and with those veterans, do you have long-term goals that you have set that you're working towards as we speak?
That's a great question. I've said this several times. We never set out at the beginning of the season and say, this is our specific goal, to win this many games, to win. I mean, obviously, championships is always, the goal. But our goal is to have the number one culture in the country, plain and simple. And that's very, very difficult to do. And we believe by doing that, our process is elite. And the elite results will take care of themselves.
Mm-hmm. And speaking to that culture, you just had Louisville Live last Friday. What was it like seeing everyone in your glasses?
Yeah, I guess I just made the whole city of Louisville a little nerdier because they put on these nerdy glasses. I don't know. I don't know if they're nerdy. Usually when I try something a little bit out there from a style standpoint, I embarrass my teenage daughters, which is such a fun thing to do sometimes. But I don't know. It's kind of become my thing a little bit. I thought it was really cool that the marketing staff had kind of the creative thought to do that. And I think it resonated a lot with our fans. And heck, even our players are wearing them. It's hard enough to make my teenage daughters think I'm cool, much less my players. So I thought that was.
Is there
cool.
a story behind your glasses, or is it just have they always been like that?
Well, I don't like contacts because I have an astigmatism, and hard contacts kind of hurt my eyes. And there's probably some sort of eye doctor out there saying, "Oh, we can." But anyway, so I just went straight glasses, did a little bit of research, and I'm a little bit of a Jay-Z fan. He's got a song Tom Ford, so I wear the Tom Fords.
There you go.
That's about it.
Mm-hmm. All right, your last question. What can fans expect out of Pat Kelsey this year?
Man, I mean, what can they expect out of me? I'm going to try to be true to myself all the time. Billy Shakespeare said one time, "To thine own self be true." My players know every single day I'm going to bring it. It's my job when I take the practice floor to make sure I have a great amount of energy. I'm very, very prepared. I'm putting our players in the best positions to be successful. And I just try to be consistent with that every day. In a leadership position, they say you're the CEO a lot. I believe I'm the CRO, which is the Chief Reminder Officer. And it's my job to remind everybody in our organization what our standard is every day, how to have an elite process in place so that, again, like I said at the beginning of the interview, the results take care of themselves.
Absolutely. Well, excited for the season, and thank you again for coming on.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Another huge special thanks to head coach Pat Kelsey for joining us. Here's what's upcoming this week in the Ville. This Wednesday, men's soccer takes on Evansville. On Thursday, women's soccer is set to host Stanford. And on Friday, field hockey takes on Duke and volleyball takes on Wake Forest. On Saturday, football takes on number 6 Miami. On Sunday, women's soccer hosts California and volleyball is set to host NC State. Looking into next week, Monday, men's basketball has an exhibition game against Young Harris, and men's soccer completes the week October 22nd against Milwaukee. Thank you for joining us for today's episode of the Cardinals Pulse. Make sure to keep up with us on all of our socials. I'm Riley Hemmer. Another special thanks to head coach Pat Kelsey for joining us. We hope you have a great week, and as always, go Cards.